but keeping like a flow, playful energy that we're not deciding ahead of time who's doing what. But we're just looking at what's happening in this moment. And then somewhere in there, a disarm is going to find its way without having to force it to happen. The things I wanted to kind of illustrate is, in a method of training, is like connecting all these things. We do what we call like halo-halo, which is just halo-halo just means mix. It's like a Filipino dessert, I'm told. It's like a mix of a whole bunch of different things. So we call it halo-halo. It's just that free play, being able to play back and forth, not have necessarily a structure behind it. What is important in the beginning levels is you play with what we call a palakao energy. Palakao is a cooperative play, back and forth. And then looking for these things you're trying to find, like looking for these disarms. And the key, like Jiu-Jitsu, when it's more catch and release and you have that flow, it's the same with the Kali. Try not to like tense up and force a disarm. Just play and flow and try to have fun. But the thing about the play is that it's got to be based off your principles, not off your patterns. Because when you try to force the pattern, it doesn't work as well. But when you have a principle such as like, oh, if you're like, I have a pattern, I'm going to send this angle and expect him to block a certain way, you're probably not going to get that. But if you're like, oh, I'm going to go to my target softly but committed, I'm going to go to my target, and then he's going to like utilize whatever perpendicular principle and whatever danger zone principle applies, and I'm just going to respond off of whatever he does. Then maybe I'll do something and he does something, and he'll come in there and like maybe we'll go back and forth a few times. But keeping like a flow, playful energy that we're not deciding ahead of time who's doing what. But we're just looking at what's happening in this moment. And then somewhere in there, a disarm is going to find its way without having to force it to happen. Does that make sense? And that's all I want you guys to do for about 2 minutes. We've been doing, right? But just playing and trying to put in different levels, different concepts, just little pieces. Ooh. And just having fun with it, and not really like knowing what's going to happen, but just finding those moments where you can just play and find, right? But you got to slow it down. You got to make it play. You got to take the ego out. You got to not care if they tap you or not, just like Jiu-Jitsu, right? You have to like be able to say, okay, this is not about winning or losing. This is about communicating. This is about just a conversation. Me making sure that like anything I send an attack to is going to touch if you block, but also like I'm going to respond to whatever you do instead of have it in my mind what you're going to do ahead of time. Once I decide in my mind what you should do ahead of time, now I'm going to follow a pre-prescribed pattern and things are going to start to fall apart on us. Does that make sense? Yes, no? Just checking, I don't want to lose these guys, you know. Whoa. And little accidents, you know. Whoa. You know, little accidents happen all the time. That's how you know you're playing. That's how you know you're playing. If it's totally smooth all the time, there's really not a lot of challenge, right? But if it's just like all calamity and no and no mellow smoothness, then maybe you're a little too tense. You need to bring it down a bit. But that ability to play, that's the important part. That you can do your whole lives. That you can inject different concepts, different ideas, different techniques, whatever, into your ability to play and start to make it your own. But once it becomes like an ego-based, I can't let you touch me, let's go. Now, tension enters, and when you're tense, you're not going to experiment, right? When you're tense, you're protecting. And when we protect, we don't open up and try things because we're protecting. Does that make sense? So for just 2 minutes, no more. Can we just have you guys just try to play? And for that 2 minutes, I want you to try to be in constant motion playing. Not stopping, talking, crossing the sticks 2 times, stopping and talking about it. 2 minutes, continuous, slow play. Cool? All right, let's do it.